What's up, Creekside? It's Matt here for this episode of Looking Up, and I want to talk today about compasses. I was watching a do-it-yourself video, a little DIY, for how to make a compass if you don't have one and you're in the wilderness. And this guy, he took a leaf and he put it down on top of some stagnant water, and he had a sewing needle and a magnet. If you have that while you're out camping, awesome, you're prepped. But he brushed one end of this needle against the magnet. And what he was doing was just magnetizing that end. So when he put the needle on top of the leaf, you instantly started seeing the needle and the leaf turn and align itself with magnetic north. And I thought that was super cool. And I had this picture in my mind that, the Lord invites us to keep our compass, the compass of our hearts, the compass of our spirits, aligned to Him as our true north. But what's interesting is, after a while, that the needle that was on that leaf would demagnetize. And so it would no longer be a trustworthy thing. It would no longer be for sure pointing to the magnetic north. And I think it's super interesting because in Jeremiah 17, verse 9, it says, "The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it?" In Colossians 2, verse 8, it says, "See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ." So these two things are warnings, right? Like, our hearts are sick. Our hearts will sway toward other things if we're not being mindful to protect it, if we're not being mindful to keep it magnetized. But I think it's so sweet that the Lord invites us to stay magnetized, as if our hearts, our spirits, our minds are a compass that can be directed toward our true north, toward Jesus. And in Hebrews 4, verse 16, it says, "Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." And I would even add, not just in time of need, but to find grace to help us through this life, to help us through this wilderness, to help us through this darkness in this world. We need our compasses to be aligned to the true north, which is Jesus. This throne, let us draw near with confidence the throne of grace. To receive, I love this reminder, to receive mercy and find grace. The gospel is something that needs to be shared, that I need to be reminded of every single day. And so every single moment, every time that I draw near to the Lord, I'm reminded that, God, I am in need of you. I am in need of your grace and mercy. I'm in need of your love, even though I so don't deserve it. Because right before that, I love just this picture that Jesus is our high priest standing before the throne of God, standing before the throne. But it says we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet he remains without sin. He is the one who remained without sin. He's the one who deserves rightfully to be in perfect relationship with the Father. And he is standing before the Father for all who have received his grace, all who have received his mercy, all who have placed their faith in him, saying, "Don't look at them, but see me. I sacrificed my life for them. My blood covers their sin, so that we can draw near to the throne of God, so that we can be magnetized by brushing up into his presence, that we can rest in his grace every single morning, every single day, all throughout the day, that we can have our hearts and our minds and our spirits aligned with our true north, the one true north, which is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of heaven and earth. So I ask, where has your compass been taking you? Where has it been taking you? Where is your needle pointing? Where's the needle of your heart? Where's the needle of your spirit and your mind, your focus? Where is that pointing? And maybe today is the day that we need to remagnetize our heart's compass with God. And it maybe that looks like just drawing in just honest, vulnerable prayer. And maybe that looks like just diving into his word of truth to be clinging to the promises of his steadfast, relentless, unchanging love for you today. But I encourage each and every single one of us, myself included, to have our hearts magnetized. Step into that invitation to have the compass of our hearts, the compass of our lives, re-magnetized and pointing directly to Jesus. Hey, and I know this is a crazy season, but I'd love to just wrap up our time just in prayer for this, for you, and know that I'm praying for you along with our church staff. But we are thankful for you. We love you. And Jesus, we just pray that you would be the true alignment of our lives. That our hearts, our focus, our minds, our spirits, God, that we would be pointed to you. That we would be coming into contact with your presence, that we would step into just the recognition of your loving kindness, your mercy, your grace for us every single day. So that as we walk through this life, God, we are focused on you. Our compass is aligned directly with you and pointing directly to you, bringing others in our lives around us with us as we seek to draw near to you. And thank you for the promise that you, as we draw near to you, you will draw near to us, because you yearn jealously for each and every single one of us, for all of your creation, for everybody that you have made and fashioned to be made in your image. So God, may we just learn to love you more like you love us. May you teach us to love people in such a way that points them directly back to you and helps them to see the truth of your character above all things. For all these things, Jesus, in your name alone, amen. Thanks, guys.